Hi there, my name is Drew, and if we haven't met before, welcome to ReadyBudgetGo. If this isn't your first time visiting my channel, welcome back. Either way, I'm glad you're here. It's the end of the week, so it's time for the weekly reel, and this is where I share all my real budget numbers, my real spending, my real savings, my real mistakes, all of it. And this is the last video that I am filming before the big move. So I'm going to summarize the last week and talk about what's ahead. I am recording this very late at night because I honestly forgot to record it. There's been so much going on this week. I was actually in bed and just about to close my eyes, and I thought, oh no, I need to film my weekly check-in video. So I don't know what kind of video I'm going to film, and I don't really know what kind of video you're going to get, but I guess we'll find out together. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go! If you're not new to my channel, you may notice a couple things. First of all, my voice might have a little bit of an echo, and that is because I've started packing up a lot of things that are in the space where I record this, and I have hard floors. So if there's an echo going on in the background, I do apologize for it. And the other thing you may notice is that I don't have my pouches here that have all of the cash that I use in them. Most of those pouches are already packed. The only two that I have not packed are this one and this one. So I did spend some cash this week, and I do have a little bit of change in here. Not much, maybe, I don't know, 20 cents or so. And then in terms of the bills that I didn't spend, I have, I think, $15. I just put everything into one pouch, including the $50 a week that I have for the next 2 weeks. So $100 to get me through the rest of April in cash. So let's give it a count here. There's 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, 95, 100, 5, 10, and 15. Yeah. So at the start of the week, I had 150 left for the month of April. And now that I have 115, that means that I spent 35 of the cash this week. But I've just decided to combine everything because this is the last episode of the weekly reel before the big move. I will continue to track my expenses for the rest of the month, but I won't be uploading a video, and I'm not even doing a May budget. And here's why. Next Friday will be 2 days before the big move. And I know that I'm going to have a lot going on, and the junk truck is coming to take away most of my furniture, whatever I can't manage to give away before then. So it's going to be difficult to get anything filmed. The week after that, I will be either on the road or just arriving at my new digs. And I just don't see myself being able to find all of my filming gear and set it all up and film a video. So I will continue to track all my expenses, but the video where I share that will come out at some point in May. I will recap kind of everything so far with the big move. I do expect there to be more expenses coming out of those sinking funds after the actual move, just because I'll need to buy new furniture, go on a Target run or a Walmart run or a Costco run or whatever, and get things for my new place. But those are unknowns at this point. Okay, so take a deep breath and let's talk about what happened this last week because it was a doozy. So let me go in first of all to the project expense tracker for the big move. I did have one entry this week. It was for Target. I needed some contractor bags and some just regular gallon-sized Ziploc bags, and a few other things that I can't even remember what they were or how much they cost. The receipt is who knows where. I mean, everything is kind of all over the place right now. So I'm just saying that of what I spent at Target, $50 was for the big move. It may not be exact, but that's, in fact, it almost certainly isn't exact, but that's okay. Okay, and then let's go into the regular month. So here we are for April. Surprise, surprise, I got my quarterly bonus check this quarter. Now, it wasn't a huge bonus. Well, it was a good bonus, but there were a lot of withholdings from that check. So net was about $729 more. I didn't put this out separately. I should have, but I'd already started writing the number in, and I thought, you know what, we're just going to go with it. So that was the check. And then for bills, YouTube Premium came out as expected. Wallet spending, $478.40, so I am more than 50% over budget, and I will explain this when we get to the expense detail page a little bit later. Stockpiles, $100 went into my sinking funds. That's the video that comes out on Mondays. That is Ready Budget Game. And then, and the money just went into the games for this week. I will have a video coming out on May 1st, which is a Friday, where I detail how all of that got allocated with the randomizer. And then $706 to savings and extra debt. Now, that is just savings for me. In fact, that is for the big move. Now, I knew that I was going to have that expense, so instead of transferring the 706, I only transferred 656 to my savings account. So that other 50 will stay in the checking account just to repay the credit card. On the deposit side, I did take all of the cash back to the bank, $2,385. That video will come out later this month where I detailed all of that, but that was all the cash that I had on hand, except for what's in this pouch. That all went back to the bank to keep it safe during the big move. I will go to the bank and withdraw this money once I get to my new home. And then paycheck 1 plus bonus came in, and I recorded the actual amount here. There was actually 34 additional cents, but I truncate everything on the budget sheet just to make it easier to read. And then in terms of outflows, this did not get captured last week. It was actually a transaction for last week, but it hadn't yet posted. So this should be yellow for last week, but it got highlighted in green, and I'm not going to fix it. It's fine. A whole bunch of credit card payments came out, and then the savings transfer that I talked about for this week, $656. I do have more videos coming out, just so you know. I have pre-filmed through the end of April, so there will continue to be a Monday video, a Tuesday video, and a Thursday video next week and the week after. And again, on May 1st, there's also the randomizer allocation for the sinking funds. So, I will continue to transfer money into the big move as needed. Next page. Okay, so here's all the expenses for the week. Now, this is more than double the number of transactions that I like to have in a given week, because every single one of these, except for the weekly cash, represents a credit card swipe, and that is a whole lot of swiping. And this was kind of an exceptional week, again, because of the big move for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm not really doing any more cooking at home. I picked up a few ready-made, like frozen dinners, and then didn't eat them, which is why the food expenses are so high. And then lots of DoorDash, and I also had some one-off expenses here. So Lyft, $45.55, that was to get home from Target. I was not expecting this to cost this much. Had I known that the Lyft home would have cost this much, I would not have shopped at Target. I would have just gone home on public bus and had the groceries and whatever else delivered to me. But by the time that I knew that it was going to be so expensive, I'd already done the shopping. This ride should have been somewhere around $25, $27. But with the cost of gas, it's $6 a gallon here, if not more. So it was a big, big expense. And then Target, of course, is $63.98. This is all impulse buying because I went to Target specifically for the items that I needed for the big move. All the rest of the money that I spent there was just pure impulse. So it was a big waste all the way around. And then I also had some laundry expenses in the week for a couple reasons. Number one, my dryer is still not working, and I just don't have time to have them come and try to fix it, especially when I'm getting ready to move out. The laundromat is in my building, so I don't have to go outside. I just have to pay for it. And the other reason is that if I use the laundromat, I can get all the laundry done all at once. I don't have to wait for each load to finish washing, drying, fold, put away, wash, dry, fold, put away, and keep cycling through the laundry. As soon as well, you know how laundry cycling works. I don't have to explain that. But at any rate, so that was a lot of money that I wasn't planning on spending. I added up all of that miscellany, and I still would have been over budget in the week, but it would have been by $50 instead of $150. So I really kind of screwed up there, but it is what it is, and I'm kind of, it sounds awful, but I'm kind of past the point of caring, I guess is a way to put it, where I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move, and things are going to cost what they're going to cost. I have saved for this. I have planned for this, and it's just, things are what they are. So lots of DoorDash spending here. I don't regret that. I don't have the time to cook. I don't really want to dirty up my kitchen again or my pots and pans. I'm trying to get everything packed. So it's going to be another week of probably similar expenses, although I do have a conference out of town for work next week. So that will cover 2.5, maybe 3 days of per diem. So anyway, all that to say, that is the weekly spending for the week. So let's talk about savings. Now, there's only one savings sheet that I updated, even though there has been some activity here. So emergency fund is still fully funded. Blip fund still not started. So let's talk about subscribers. So I did cross the threshold of 950 this week, and I will color that in, but not till I get to my new place. And the reason is because the markers are packed. So, yeah, I'll have to dig out those markers when I get to my destination and make sure that I fill that in. Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed. I will make sure that I get $50 into the savings account for this. It is supposed to be for the big move, but I haven't talked about this because I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it out into the universe or not. But I do have a stretch goal where I don't touch this, where everything that I have in the big move for the books account and in the secondary savings account will be enough to cover the expenses for the big move. I don't know for sure that that will be the case, but here's hoping. So we'll see. Anyway, so no movement here. There was movement here, but I didn't transfer the $50. I will make sure that I do that at some point, however. Okay, then the big move books. So this is the other savings account that I have for the big move that currently has just under $3,700 in it. And then I have a secondary savings account, and I did deposit the $656 for this week in there, and that brought the total up to $2,666. So all in all, there is about $6,300 in here, somewhere north of that, which is a good amount of money. And because I'm doing this move more or less myself, I think that should be enough. I hope that will be enough. If not, it's okay. And even if the money that is in here is not enough and I have to tap the emergency fund, I'm willing to do it. This is important to me and a life goal, so it's kind of like whatever it takes. Anyway, that brings me to the end of the weekly update, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you shopped my big Etsy sale over the past week and a half or so, thank you so much. It was a tremendous response, and I greatly appreciate it. That will also help a lot. That money all goes back into my business, and once I get into my new place, I will start creating again and bringing out more savings games and savings challenges. So I am very much looking forward to that, and I hope that you are too. My Etsy shop will continue to be open for digital purchases while I am going about the big move. So if there are any challenges of mine that you like and you want to get the digital version, those are available now on Etsy. Of course, I have Ko-fi as well for dashboards, and yeah, I think dashboards are going to be the only thing that's up there. I think everything else is physical, and I've got those turned off just till I get to my new place. I don't know exactly when physical products will return to Etsy. It will be sometime after May 1st, and sometime hopefully before the end of May. It shouldn't take me that long to get things unpacked, but you never know. So anyway, thank you again so much for tuning in this week and all the other weeks. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and until I see you in the next one, which will be from my new home, take care.